going on, Jerome's? Pretty soon you'll be able to get this sexy ass hat. The merch store is almost done. Producer Allie, this is her Mr. Holland's opus. This is going to be her Graceland. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a ton of merch on there, some hats, some mugs, some shirts, some hoodies, as well as. So we need a pizza dictator shirt. We need a capologist shirt. We need a Jerome shirt. We just need all of the little inside jokes to be going on here. Some esoteric stuff going on. But something else that's going on is a Vikings training camp, Vikings preseason. One is in the books, and there's a couple of players who really need to step up their games if they want a chance to make this roster, let alone the practice squad. So here are 5 Vikings who are on the bubble who need to step up their game. Otherwise, I don't know. First up, number 5. So you got offensive tackle Oli Udoh. Now, he started last season at right guard primarily, played some left tackle when Generis was out. But Oli Udoh, I think that he still has some value and utility as a backup lineman. I do, and I understand. It's kind of hard to go back to a place where you were a starter, you got shelled. I mean, the fans just don't really want to give you the time of day again, but I think that he can be a decent backup tackle. Now, I do think that Blake Brandel is going to be the swing tackle. He played phenomenally against the Raiders. Jesse Davis, who's going to make the team as a guard, I think that he obviously could play some tackle as well. Maybe not great, as evidence from Dolphins fans. But Oli played 30 snaps at left tackle on Sunday. He allowed a pressure, didn't really get after it in the run game, although the second unit offensive line was pretty dang good. But Oli does need to step up. Otherwise, I don't think that they would just cut him outright, since it does seem like new offensive line coach Chris Cooper and offensive coordinator Wes Phillips and Kevin O'Connell are giving him the time of day. It's very easy to cast aside previous regime's key players, as we'll be seeing from some of this, the rest of this list. But Oli Udoh does need to step up. Next up, number 4 player who needs to step up because he's on the bubble. Outside linebacker Generis Robinson. Now, I love me some Generis Robinson. I think that he's a very toolsy player from Florida State. He was dinged, not dinged, but his college career was impacted. He was a 5-star recruit, man, but he was impacted by multiple defense coordinator and scheme shifts in college. Never really found footing. Was a 4th-round pick by the Vikings last season. Was on IR, missed all of last year, and he played okay versus the Raiders. Had 2 tackles and a pressure, but that edge rushing room is extremely crowded because, of course, you got Daniil and Za'Darius, but then you got Wanham, who's played great. He's clearly edge rusher 3. Patrick Jones is 2nd, I think, is edge rusher 4. And then you got Zach McLeod, the UDFA from Miami, who's looked really good. You have Andre Mincy coming over from the Broncos, ties with Donatel, has had a pretty good camp as well. And then you got Robinson. So, I mean, maybe the Vikings keep 5 edge rushers on the roster and then 1 on the practice squad. And right now, I think Generis is the odd man out on the outside looking in. Next up, player number 3 on the bubble who needs to step up. Diamond Danchison. Now, we listed him as wide receiver / punt gunner because, you know, but I did have that really nice 4th down grab from Kellen Mond in the preseason game. Now, he has been dinged up. He missed some of training camp, as well as Kevin O'Connell mentioned that he re-aggravated that lower leg injury. But the wide receiver room is loaded, man, because you got Jefferson, Thielen, you got KJ, you got ISM. I think that's solidly your 1 through 4. And then you got Tristan Jackson and Jalen Naylor and Myron Mitchell and BC Johnson and Burt Wilson all up in there. So, I mean, Chisena, if he wants to make the team, it's obviously going to have to be through special teams, but it's become a meme at this point where Dan Chisena, he's the first guy to the punt returner, except he runs right by him, doesn't make the tackle, and then you're playing 10 on 11, where it's, you know, it's a lot of sizzle, no steak, and you're hoping that he gets better, and I think that he has progressed as a wide receiver, but we're still just not seeing it, man. And you can find punt gunners all over the place. Next up, player number 2 who needs to step up. Linebacker Chaz Surratt. Now, this is generally what happens when there's a regime change and the previous GM's draft picks. Sometimes a new GM keeps a couple if they're smart, a la Christian Darrisaw. Sometimes he casts a couple aside, etc. But Chaz Surratt last year was a 3rd-round pick coming out of North Carolina. He was a converted quarterback, started playing linebacker, only had a couple seasons of linebacker experience, also was a 24-year-old rookie, but you know, hasn't gotten the time of day at the inside linebacker spot, playing some off-ball, where, you know, he's pretty buried in the depth chart behind Troy Dye, behind Blake Lynch, and obviously behind Brian Asamoah. But he posted a 29.5 PFF grade against the Raiders, which is not It's not good. It's less than ideal. Also, you missed 2 tackles, and it was just tough. And he's an easy guy to root for. He does have some athletic ability, except I think that he's a long shot to even make the practice squad at this point. And lastly, this one hurts. If we still had the sad violin music, I would play it right now. But offensive guard Wyatt Davis, no matter what. Now, he was our guy coming out of the Ohio State University, 2021 third rounder. He's been stuck on the third team behind Kyle Hinton for the bulk of training camp. He played sparingly in the preseason game, only had 13 snaps. I think, there's 85-man cuts today. I think that one of these guys may be on the 85-man cuts. It really wouldn't shock me. Davis hasn't really risen up. You haven't really heard any buzz about him. And playing against the threes, you would expect, Davis, a third-round pick, Davis, a 2-time All-American, would really step up. But maybe that knee injury that he suffered in the national title game a couple years ago and hurt his draft stock made him drop from a first-round potential player to the third round. Maybe that's more serious than we thought. Who really knows? But yeah, it's just a conundrum where you have this very talented player who just just hasn't really stepped up. It's really unfortunate. But that's it. Here are 5 Vikings bubble roster players who need to step up if they want to be in the sphere, whether it be the roster or even the practice squad. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. Who else needs to step up? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.